Tell Me About It is brought to you by Don Franklin Auto of Glasgow, Extreme Health Club, and Lockshield Partners Accounting Services.
Welcome to Tell Me About It on Glasgow EPB Channel 6, the local channel. You can also catch this show on the Glasgow EPB YouTube channel, 104thescore.com and kysports.tv. I'm James Brown with 104thescore.com. Back again this week. We've got John Vaughn coming up in the next segment. He's been the track coach, track scorekeeper, track everything at Glasgow High School for a few years now. And as a physical trainer before that with the Glasgow School District, working out of TJ Sampson, he served as physical trainer for the track program. So he's been around the program for a long time, and he announced the other day that this would be his last season coaching. So we're going to have him on to talk about his relationship to the track program. In the time that he's been around the Glasgow High School track program, it's had a pretty successful run, as a matter of fact. That's what we'll talk about next. Caroline Murphy won 2 hurdles events at the Class 2A state track meet in Lexington on this past Friday. She ran 15:55 to win the 100-meter hurdles, and I don't remember her exact time off the top of my head in the 300 hurdles, but she won that one by 2 or 3 seconds, I think. So it was pretty quick. Last year she was the state high jump champ in the Class 2A. And when she was on this show earlier this year, as the season was going on, prior to the postseason, she mentioned the fact that the hurdles was her first love. That's how she even got involved in the track program to start with. Somebody put down some hurdles in a gym, and so she went and did that and loved that. And then that was the sport that she fell in love with. And so that's why this year she wanted to kind of focus more on doing the hurdles and trying to see how well she could do it at the state meet. And of course, we talked about then, and you can find this list on 104thescore.com, a list of all of the high school state track champions for Barron County schools, Glasgow schools, and Caverna schools. So her grandfather, Danny Honeycutt, won I think they were 120. They were yards at that time, not meters. So it was 120, I believe that's the way it worked out, meter, 120 yard hurdles, in 1970 and then in 1972. So after she won the hurdle events at the 2A meet, I asked her about that, and she said it's something that she and her grandfather can share. You can probably audibly hear me say on the video, "Oh, it's sweet." It just kind of struck me in the moment. I was like, well, that is a very nice thing, a memory to be able to share with one of your grandparents. She had a great run there in the 2A. In the 3A, Chesney McPherson on Saturday finished second in the 3,200 meter run. And considering the competition that she's running against right now, Cara O'Shea, who was the state, is the state 3,200 meter record holder, was in that same event. She ran away from the pack. And then, so the gap between O'Shea and Chesney McPherson was almost the full front running area there. What am I trying to say here? Not the curve, the front straight, that's it. Anyway, so that's how far O'Shea was ahead of McPherson. McPherson was almost that far ahead of the people who were in the pack back in third place and on back. And so that's how impressive her run was there. O'Shea was a senior. The Justice Sakura, who is the state record holder, set the record. I think she beat it by almost 9 seconds at the 3A meet in the 1600. She was also a senior. Chesney McPherson ran in that event too and finished 5th. So the 2 top competitors in those events were both seniors. McPherson is a junior, so she'll be back next year. And also in the 2-mile, Gracie Reed from Barron County ran in that. She finished 5th in that event. No, she finished further back than that event. I don't remember what her actual placement was. But she's just a freshman. So even though we put a cap on some great performances this year at the state meets, we'll be back next year with some other folks, namely, like I said, Chesney McPherson, Gracie Reed, with opportunities to maybe win state titles themselves. All right, this is Tell Me About It, Glasgow EPB Channel 6, the local channel. I'm James Brown. We'll be right back with John Vaughn.
Lockshield Partners Accounting Services provides professional and trusted expertise to our clients. Our team offers individual, business, and nonprofit tax preparation services, as well as payroll, bookkeeping, and consulting year-round. Call or visit our office today so our team can work for you while you and your loved ones focus on what really matters, because together we plan.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree saline therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Hi, I'm James Brown. Welcome to Tell Me About It. We're back here on Glasgow EPB Channel 6 local channel. You can find this show on the Glasgow EPB YouTube channel, 104thescore.com, kysports.tv. We have John Vaughn with us. Many people have seen John Vaughn roaming around at athletic events at Glasgow. That's your assignment.
That's my assignment. That's my real job.
Yes,
right.
Your real job. And so you've seen him working with football, working with baseball, softball, soccer, just about any sport that Glasgow has. You'll be there on occasion.
I'm there.
But you've also been around the track program coaching for 11 years, more or less.
About 11 years, more or less. I kind of started as the new school was kind of being built back in 2011, and just kind of hung out with Coach Orlando Hayden, and he was the coach at the time. And when he left, they asked me if I would like to, coach track. They knew I liked to run.
Yeah. And
I've run a couple marathons and things like that. So I said, well, sure, I'll help you for a year until you can find somebody. And that's been about 12 years ago.
Yeah, and then until I guess Saturday, that had been 12 years.
Exactly.
You'd been doing this without accidentally.
Right.
So, I was thinking about this because I could remember that you were around about that window of time. I couldn't remember when exactly you had started coaching, but you ended up basically being the coach of a track program that over these 12 years has had, I don't know, 8, 9 state champions or state champion events.
Events, yes.
Really more people than that, because of 4 of them, I think, were relays.
Oh, exactly, they were. As a matter of fact, I think they won the 4x200, if I'm not mistaken, under Coach Orlando. And when I got in there, we won the 4x100 and the 4x200 boys.
Yes.
The following year, and we set the state record, as a matter of fact, for both of those. We came back the next year and won the 4x2 and the 4x1 and set another state record. So we beat our own state record that year.
Yeah, and so
they were just incredible athletes.
And I think one of the things, there was the 2011, there was a pretty significant, I think there was maybe only one runner back.
One runner back. Well, actually, they're Jalen Sublett Lawan and I can't remember the last one. There was another that had been there those 2 years, and Lawan and Jalen had been there both those first years. Gary Settles came in 2012, and he was there that year, and then 2013. 2013, actually, only one. Oh, Gary was the only one that came back.
Yeah, because I think it was
Yes,
like
you're right.
maybe Julia Shirley.
Julia Shirley was there, yes.
And Milos Norris. No, Milos.
Milos was there
Yep,
the last
Milos
year,
was- yep, he was.
2012, right?
And then
13.
and then the other was Zach Wheeler, I think, who was
Zach
a
Wheeler was
400
actually
runner.
He was a 400 runner. That was his specialty.
Yeah.
His 400 runner. We put him in the 4x200
Uh-huh.
because he was a very good. I can't remember what his times were, but he was getting down in the 50s.
Yeah.
Running. He was just a good. Now he wouldn't run the 2 mile, but he would run that 800, 400
Yeah.
range.
He's one of those 400 runners for folks who don't watch 400 meter runnings. That you're supposed to run that curve hard and then flow on that backstretch and
Yes.
run that curve hard and flow and finish hard, right? That's what the
Exactly.
400 is supposed to be like. Zach Wheeler would run the curve hard and he would look the exact same speed the whole time.
He did.
I mean, it was like there was no acceleration, deceleration. It was just like he hit a speed and he was
He
max.
took off there and floated the whole entire way. He had a long stride. He was
Yeah.
a tall guy. And he hit the far turn, and you could see him kind of put it on a little bit more in the last 100 meters.
Yeah.
But he was just that was his spot.
It
was perfect for him.
I remember the first time I saw him run, I was like, my goodness.
Yeah, he's a good runner. Very good runner.
So but through the years, so then the relay, you've had some really good relay teams, of course. Look, Gary Settles was just a fast guy.
He was.
He just showed up fast.
It was showed up.
Zach Wheeler was a fast guy. He showed up able to run that 400 fast.
Right.
But I think maybe people don't realize the difficulty, and what I'm getting at here is that there's also been some really good girls relay teams.
Yes, we have. We've had excellent girls relay team.
So the thing about the relay is you can have 4 fast people, but if you don't work that exchange well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Right, exactly. And we work a lot on our exchange. And and that's one thing you'll see. If you go to a track meet, you'll see lots of different styles of changing. We do something called a push pass. And what we try to do is get our timing. We work on timing. We try to communicate because you can lose, if you lost 1 second on each relay, on each handoff, there's 4 seconds gone or 3 seconds gone.
Yeah.
So you could lose a whole event. And but the particular girls relay that we had, Brianna Glover, I can't remember who I was on that, Skylar Bird, that group. But we would run them until ended up having to bring a bucket of water out and soak their feet after because they ran so much. They put this on, and I tell them, they were right within. You get to the point when you're in region, you hit region, and if you're within a second or two of the other people in the state, you're gonna work. Because you could easily win something like that, and they did, and we had good athletes.
Yeah.
They were good athletes.
Well, and that's the thing. And so then you have, of course, Caroline Murphy has won 3 state championships by the time she graduates high school. But the hurdles, she won both hurdles events at the state. And again, the hurdles is another event where it's that you can be fast, but it's the skill of managing to clear those hurdles with the least amount of distance possible and maintaining speed.
Yes.
That is like the real skill of an event like that.
It actually is a skill. And a lot of what people don't realize that track and field, there's a lot of skill in this. It's not just getting out there and kind of grunting everything out and throwing the ball and seeing how far you can jump. There's a lot of technique. And so that's what we worked on a lot this year was technique on everything, because one of the fortunate things that we have had this year, really for probably about the past 5 years, is we've got enough coaching staff. We have 5 coaches. So until then, I had been working with just myself and another coach.
Right.
And you can't get down to the discus cage while you're trying to work on hurdlers and then get down to the long jump and then get back up to the high jump. So this year we've had coaches that could really focus on technique with the kids.
But I would say through your time as the head coach at the program, those skill things are the ones, even though they've been good athletes, with that effort, you've developed those minute skills that are necessary to win the technical events, especially.
Right.
And that seems to be, as much as anything during your time there, something you guys have done really well with.
And I'll have to say one fortunate thing that we had that kind of turned our whole program around was when the superintendent's daughter ran track.
Yes.
When the principal's son ran track, and when the athletic director's daughter ran track.
That's a blessing. And
It's a
curse
blessing.
sometimes.
It's a blessing. Yeah. Actually, it turned out to be good because
Yeah.
the superintendent got me in the room in his office one afternoon and just said, I never knew what it was like to coach track, and said, I'm going to get you some more coaches. So that's what he did, and it absolutely turned the whole program around.
Yeah.
The kids, I think one thing, track doesn't get all the accolades basketball and football and baseball do. But it is it's a very viable sport, and you can get college scholarships from that, and kids just need attention. They just need guidance, and so if you've got enough coaches to go around, these kids are going to excel. As I think it's kind of shown here in the last few years. Of course, when you have those good athletes, they really pick up on a lot of things. But we've had athletes who kind of came alive, kind of came out of the woodwork a bit, just from having technical instruction.
So what is your what's your fondest memory of these 12 years, you think?
I don't know. It's just sometimes it seems to be kind of a blur, in a way, because track and field's a big animal, and you can ask the coaches. Let me go back. This whole program has been successful because of the coaches, not just me. We've got coaches that have absolutely took this on as their own in every aspect, whether it was coaching a specific event or something like that. So I'd say that's probably been the success of the whole thing. Of course, I enjoy when our kids win something big. This year, it's been really an interesting year because every single track meet we went to, a kid would come up. Sometimes 5 kids would come and say, "I PR'd today."
Yeah.
I PR'd again, and they keep getting better and better and better. And that was very consistent all throughout the year. Almost in every single event, we had either a 4x8 got faster, 4x1 got faster. We had an open 100 got faster, and every time they would set a new PR. So that's always exciting.
This year you guys ended up with quite a few younger athletes out there. You'd kind of had a consistent older classes coming through, but this year you wound up with just a bunch of younger athletes.
We had to mix it up.
Yeah.
We had to mix it up a lot. As a matter of fact, we had 2 or 3 8th graders that were consistently running with our relays. As a matter of fact, one of our 8th graders ran in the 4x100 at state. So we mix it up a lot. Matter of fact, our alternate that we took up there for the boys 4x1 was also an 8th grader. So we've utilized them. There's some really good athletes, on deck that I think are going to come up and perform well.
So why did you decide this was the time to do something else?
It seems like every year I would tell my wife at the end of the season, "Okay, this is my last one." Finally, she just said, "Sure, yeah, I get it." And I think it was just something, something in the air or something. I just felt like it was just kind of time to let younger coaches kind of come in and kind of do that. So I'm hoping that there'll be some younger coaches with some more, better techniques. I don't know.
So you said I'll help you out for a year. Are you pretty pleased though that you did this for 12 years?
I am looking back. I've enjoyed it. I have really enjoyed it. Every year you kind of get started. We'll get started in January and we'll start working out in the gym and running them around the gym. And if it's warm outside, we'll go outside. But every year it's just a new group, and you're always looking at how I can communicate with this athlete, this person, this student. And I've been blessed to have been doing it as long as I have.
Yeah.
And it's been, hopefully the program has grown.
Oh yeah. So next year, you're going to go to track meets and take photos for me?
I'll just do photos, yeah. I'm just going to be an observer, for sure.
Well, John, I mean, look, I've mentioned that my daughter ran track at Glasgow, and I mean, you might remember when she was there.
Yes.
And, one of the things that had kind of happened at Glasgow prior to this run by you is it was a different coach every couple of years, it seemed like.
It was.
And as a matter of fact, when she started out running, she was in the 5th grade, I think. 4th grade, I don't remember. They didn't have the limitations then.
Right.
So,
right.
But they had so few people competing. When I said, "Hey, can she go run?"
Exactly.
They said, "Yeah, we'll sign her up for a meet." I'm like, "No, I just wanted her to come practice."
Yeah.
So.
Just to get some.
Yeah, but that's kind of how it was. There were so few people that they, you just.
You take anybody.
Yeah, and so they just show up, and I thought when Orlando came along, and I think David Bailey and Mindy Sorrells, they started kind of getting the program, in a little better footing.
Yeah.
But still, there was the coach turnover was still every couple of years or so, and it just wasn't consistent. And I'd say your 12 years, I mean, that's been the thing. You reestablished a track program that historically had been one of the best in the state. If you go back and look over the history of track in the state.
Right.
And your tenure, you can give credit to whomever you like, but your tenure has reestablished it as a program that people are like, yes, you got to pay attention to Glasgow track.
Oh, absolutely. And that's kind of what I'm excited about is, every time we show up to either region or state, people will leave knowing that Glasgow, was there. And it seems like we've always had kids who are willing to, give it their all and that type of thing. And I think with the organization, I think that we've had this past couple of years and the support we've had from the school. I think the kids now are willing to sign up. I mean, this year I had kids already starting in November asking me when track was going to start.
Really?
So that's a big deal.
So what are you going to do now? You're going to take your summers off and go on vacations?
Yeah, I'll just, of course, I'll still be on the sidelines for the football field as far as I know.
Yeah.
That's part of my job at TJ Sampson. And so, I'll just relax over the summer and then probably get back into it after dead period, because that's when all the practices start again.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Anything else you want people to know, John, before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all right now.
All right.
I guess.
All right. Well, John, I want to thank you for coming in and talking to me.
Appreciate it.
This is James Brown. We're here on Tell Me About It on the Glasgow EPB Channel 6.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree saline therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
Lockshield Partners Accounting Services provides professional and trusted expertise to our clients. Our team offers individual, business, and nonprofit tax preparation services, as well as payroll, bookkeeping, and consulting year-round. Call or visit our office today so our team can work for you while you and your loved ones focus on what really matters, because together we plan.
Welcome back to Tell Me About It. I'm James Brown, Glasgow EPB Channel 6, a local channel. You can also catch this show on 104thescore.com, Glasgow EPB YouTube channel, and kysports.tv. Before we get out of here, I wanted to mention there's several summer things going on that, football workouts are going on during the summer. A couple of major things that are really kind of going on is your basketball teams will go to and host team camps The Glasgow Lady Scotties had a couple of days of team camps. They played over at the Glasgow Middle School on Monday and Tuesday. So, this is where the seniors have graduated. They've moved on. And so the younger players, especially your middle schoolers, JV players, start getting some work at the varsity level to kind of get a better understanding of what they're trying to accomplish. So they hosted some games over there, had, I think, Monroe County, Clinton County, Barron County played over there on Monday afternoon. Barron County is hosting a team camp. I believe theirs is this Thursday. And so they'll have some games this Thursday. We'll have some more schedule-related stuff on that on 104thescore.com, so you can find that. I got a chance to shoot some photos of the Glasgow Lady Scotties. Unfortunately, because of other commitments on Monday afternoon, I didn't get a chance to get to the Barron County games, but we'll get back to those later in the week. Caverna's boys hosted a day of games over at Caverna Middle School. Had Grayson County over there, Warren Central. I got to see the Colonels play a little bit. They kind of have basically the same team from last year with, of course, the huge loss of Mika Tier, the big guy in the middle. And so they're gonna miss him quite a bit. But they were really a young team, a bunch of freshmen, some sophomores. So a lot of those guys are going to be back. And, and then going back to the Barron County Trojanet side of things, they had 2 seniors, I think it was, and so they're going to basically have the same team back again this coming year. They were the regional runners-up. The Barron County boys are also going to be playing. I think they're going to be down at WKU on Friday. They've got some other things planned coming up this week as well. Next week, these team camps go on for about 2 weeks before the dead period, so it'll be this week and next week. Of course, the Trojans lost a couple of huge seniors, specifically Aiden Miller and Eli Brooks. Eli Brooks led them in scoring. I think Aiden led them in rebounding. And then Carson Beckham was a sharpshooter for them. So they've got a bunch, but they also had a bunch of young guys, sophomores, that played a lot. So they'll have those guys coming back. The Glasgow Scotties, they had 3 key seniors. Christian Winskoski missed most of the season due to a knee injury, but Clay Pippin and Javon Clark were seniors. I've still got to check on their schedules to see exactly when and where they're playing. But again, they were another team that had a bunch of guys. They ended up playing a bunch of younger guys as well and a few juniors. So they'll have a bunch of guys coming back as well. So, when you kind of look at the basketball, we're going to have some good returning players next year. The other thing really kind of going on is the summer golf tour and summer golf circuits, like the Bluegrass Golf Tour, the Kentucky Junior Golf Tour, those kinds of things. We have a ton of local golfers playing this summer on those tours. There was one out at Barron River Lake last week. I think Lucy Zala and Chloe Witcher, who both play at Barron, won their respective divisions. I think Jace Cook maybe finished second, I think, or third. He tied for second Monday in an event over at Bowling Green Country Club, which of course is where the KHSA state tournaments are played. And guys like Bo Shelton also at Glasgow, and then Kyler Keeney, Braden Furlong, Jameson Corbin, they are all playing on tours during the summer. So, it's a busy summer with golf as well. We'll have reports on that stuff. They kind of go on until the start. They play through the summer, really, until the start of the high school season, which I think, this is unbelievable, but it's actually 6 weeks, I believe, maybe 7 weeks until the start of the high school golf season. So it's not a lot of time, to be honest with you. One of the first events that I saw will be the South Warren Lady Spartans Invitational. That'll be at Park Mammoth, which is a beautiful course. I don't know if you've been out there since it got refurbished and all. I'm not sure if they have their clubhouse built yet. Last year they just had a trailer out there that they were working from. But yeah, that'll be one of the kickoff events of the season. And so, it doesn't stop for long. It doesn't stop for anyone. All right, this is James Brown on Tell Me About It, Glasgow EPB Channel 6. The local channel, we'll be back next week. Have fun.